Thank you. Good afternoon, and welcome to our first Toronto Seniors Housing Corporation Corporate Governance and Human Resources Committee, otherwise known as CGHRC. First committee meeting of 2026. Today is Thursday, March 19th, and we are live streaming on YouTube, and we have no deputations today. My name is Brenda Paris, and I have been recently appointed as the new chair of the committee, and I'd like to welcome all attendees to this meeting. And thanks to Councillor Crisanti for his prior leadership on the various committee chairs. Today, we'll be reviewing our work plan, 2026 work plan. We'll have a quick CEO update from Tom Hunter, followed by the People and Culture Dashboard review. And we'll be reviewing the draft 2025 annual report. We will then move into an in-camera session and return to the public realm to approve any in-camera decisions. March brings several meaningful observances, including Irish, Bangladeshi, Hellenic, and Persian Heritage Months. This evening marks the start of Eid al-Fitr, the festival of breaking the fast, which concludes the holy month of Ramadan. Tomorrow, March 20th, is spring equinox, when we're all going to hope the weather gets better. And March 21st is both the International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination and Nowruz, the Persian New Year. Next week, March 23rd, is Pakistan Day, recognizing the growing contribution of Pakistani Canadians and the rich culture that strengthens ties between our nations. March 24th is International Day for the Right to the Truth, honoring victims of gross human rights violations. March 25th marks Greek Independence Day and the International Day of Remembrance of the Victims of Slavery in the Transatlantic Slave Trade, reinforcing the importance of our African ancestral acknowledgement at each meeting. With that, I'll now go to the next agenda item, number 2, Land and African Ancestral Acknowledgements. We'll start with the land acknowledgement. Toronto Seniors Housing Corporation recognizes that we live and work on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabeg, Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat nations, and that this area is now home to a diverse population of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. We recognize that Toronto is situated within the traditional territories governed by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Treaty between the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe nations, the Two-Row Wampum Treaty between the Haudenosaunee and the Dutch, as well as Treaty 13 and the Williams Treaties involving the Anishinaabe and the Crown. These agreements remain in effect today, underscoring our shared responsibility as treaty people. Toronto Seniors Housing Corporation has benefited from these treaties and the resources of this land by providing essential housing services to seniors in Toronto. We're dedicated to furthering reconciliation initiatives, which include facilitating staff education on the historical and ongoing impacts of policies affecting Indigenous peoples. This encompasses topics such as the Indian Act, the residential schools, treaty violations, and the continued crisis surrounding missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. Our next acknowledgement, African Ancestral. Toronto Seniors Housing Corporation acknowledges the racism and injustices faced by individuals who were brought to this land involuntarily, particularly those affected by the transatlantic slave trade. We acknowledge the experiences of Black peoples who arrived in Canada seeking a better life following the abolition of slavery by the British in 1834, while also recognizing the structural, systemic, and individual racism that they encountered, which continues to persist today. And I should also add a correction. Blacks were here before 1834, here in the 1700s as loyalists. So we predate this period of time in our acknowledgement. The racism culminated in the tragic destruction of Africville, which was once the largest settlement of the Black community in Canada. Toronto Seniors Housing is committed to recognizing all forms of racism, especially anti-Black racism, and is actively working to combat these injustices. We'll now move on to item number 3, the approval public meeting agenda. I think you've had that in your package. Are there any new business items or amendments to the agenda? Having none, may I have a member of the committee move that the March 19th, 2026 CGHRC public meeting agenda be approved as presented? Costas, thank you for moving. Anyone to second? Councillor? Seconded by Councillor Crisanti. Thank you. All in favor? With all in favor, be it resolved that the March 19th, 2026 public meeting agenda is approved as presented. Item 4, conflict of interest declaration. Does anyone have any conflict of interest to any agenda item? With no conflicts having been declared, hearing none, we'll now move on to item 5, approval of the committee public session meetings of November 6, 2025. Any amendments to those committee meeting minutes? I don't see anyone here. Having none, may I have a member of the committee move that the November 6, 2025 public session minutes be approved as presented? Have a motion? Councillor Crisanti, seconded by Costa. Thank you very much. No amendments. All in favor, be it resolved that the November 6, 2025 public session minutes are approved as presented. We now proceed to item 6, action items review. Is anyone speaking to this, or?
Through the chair, I
Yep.
can speak to this if it assists.
Okay, thank you.
So our action list, and thank you, Karen, for putting it on the
Oh,
screen.
good, thank you. I was just going to find it.
There was one action from the November 6, 2025 Corporate Governance and Human Resources Committee meeting, and that was to bring forward an overview of how health and safety is addressed with contractors. And Vince is working on this. It's in progress. Vince, possibly you could provide a short update on this item.
Yeah, thanks, Grant, and to the chair and to the committee. Yes, we're working on this, and we should have a response back in the coming week. And just to give you a quick overview-wise, the onboarding process for TSHC requires the vendor to provide all insurances, including health and safety. But more detail to come, and we'll provide you with all the update in this onboarding requirements, and you will see that in the coming week as a response, more formal response. Thank you.
Okay, this was in response to a request to have compliance from the contractors. What was the problem that identified this? Or is it just general good practice?
Through the chair, this was an item that was raised in a discussion at a previous CGHRC meeting. There was an interest in understanding how health and safety was addressed from contractor perspective, in addition to some of the staff perspective, which is already included in some of the materials that come forward to the committee.
Okay, great. Thank you. And Vince will look forward to your report.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item number 7. This is the 2026 work plan of the committee. Grant, I think you're speaking to this.
Yes, thank you. So through the chair, before the committee today is a proposed 2026 work plan. Similar to how we have developed the work plans for each of the 3 committees within TSHC, we have proposed topics for each of the meetings for the year in the package. Thank you, Karen, for putting the work plan up on the screen. So you can see, for example, for today's meeting, the topics on the agenda are listed there.
Mm-hmm.
And the topics are listed. These are proposed topics, planned topics, although the subject of the specific agenda will be set as we plan for those meetings throughout the year. So these are topics that we are anticipating coming forward. So you can see, for example, at the next meeting in June, we'll bring an update on the board governance work plan. This follows the board workshop that we had on governance recently in February. There'll be an update on the IDEA strategy as well at the next meeting, a policy plan update. And then you'll notice the people and culture dashboard, for example, is shown on every meeting. So
Right.
there'll be an update on that each time the committee meets. Later in the year, in August, you'll see there's a CEO in-year performance planner update, some updates on the committees and their terms of reference. And then later in the year, there'll be some policies, employee and workplace policies, an update on the TSHC employee engagement survey that is planned later in the year, and a second IDEA strategy update. And then I'll also just flag that there's a legal agreements update that is noted for each potential meeting if there are items associated with our legal agreements that would have to come forward to the committee. And then one final piece for the committees, and this is similar for each committee's work plan, where you see an asterisk next to an item, that indicates that that item will proceed to board subsequently after the committee. And I'll take any questions.
Thank you. Any questions, anyone? And that little dot, that little star indicates items that will be subsequently sent to the board for approval.
Through the chair and to the committee, that is correct.
Right. Okay, thank you. Any comments, suggestions? So we need approval for this item. May I have a member move that the 2026 work plan be approved as presented? Costa, thank you. Seconded by, let's see, Councillor Crisanti, can you second that? Thank you very much. All in favor, be it resolved that the 2026 work plan is approved as presented. All in favor? Thank you. Now we'll move on to item number 8, the CEO update. This will be a verbal presentation by Tom Hunter, our CEO. Tom, go ahead.
Great. Thank you, Brenda, and through the chair to the committee. Good afternoon, everyone. As this is our first Corporate Governance HR Committee of the Year, I'd like to begin by acknowledging recent changes in the committee leadership. First, I want to sincerely thank Councillor Crisanti for his service as the former chair of the committee. And Councillor, your guidance and steady support have been valuable in advancing our work, and we appreciate your contributions. And I would also like to welcome Brenda Paris as the new chair, and we look forward to working with you, Brenda, and continuing our shared focus on supporting seniors across our communities. Thanks. And just an update on our mayor, because of the timeliness of this item, just an update on the mayor Lunar New Year visits. And across 2 days, on February 27th and 25th, the mayor visited 12 buildings as part of the celebrations. These visits continue to be an important highlight to our buildings, our residents, and the day-to-day work across the organization. And I do want to take a point to recognize just some of the individuals. This was really a bit of a quantum lift to deliver these in that time across those buildings. But Deanna Veltri, who we know here, our director, was the overall coordination. And then William Sanchez and Fatima Mahood, they really managed all the logistics and the planning and moving from like 6 buildings over just over an afternoon. And then we had an execution team that involved Emma, who we know, Peter Asseltine, Karen, Matt Kinch, Wendy Dobson, Rebecca Hilchik, and Chisani Pavendran. And so they helped ensure those visits were organized. The directors, all the directors were at each one of those, or we represented that, and our building teams were present as well. And the mayor's office did share this year's visits were they were the most organized to date, and that the mayor did comment she felt that they were epic. So just wanted to reflect on that. That's good. Epic. We'll take it.
We're
Take it.
epic. All right. And
For those 2 times.
how many locations, Tom, was it? How many?
Deanna, check.
It was through the chair. It was 12 locations
12
total.
12 locations.
12 in
Just-
2 days, 2 afternoons, not
Oh
even full
my
days,
gosh.
in 2 afternoons. Yeah.
Wow.
She is
Thank
epic,
you.
I will say. She is epic. She was on the move. Like, it was unbelievable
Yes.
how well organized they are.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's terrific.
Thank you.
And this was celebrating what, Chinese New Year?
That's right.
Yes, Lunar
Yes,
New Year. That's
Lunar
right. So
New
those
Year.
12
Okay.
buildings have a higher population of Cantonese
Chinese
or
residents.
Mandarin
Yes,
speakers.
yes, yes. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Terrific. Thank you to staff for doing that, because I know it's a lot of work with very little notice to do that. Okay. Anything else, Tom? Would you like to?
That's great. It's good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions or any comments? Okay, now we'll move on to item 9, People and Culture Dashboard, an information item. Carol Francis will be presenting this. Go ahead, Carol.
Yes, thank you. Karen, I'm not sure if you're going to be putting it up. So thank you through the chair and to the committee. We've had quite an active quarter, a very positive quarter. So some of the highlights include our, one very stable workforce, health and safety is in good order, our workforce capability. We had low turnover, low vacancy rates, actually very low turnover and vacancy rates. From a WSIB perspective, activity is manageable. Absenteeism levels remained overall consistent. We had a bit of a spike, so we'll take a look and see what are some contributing factors and try to manage those. Training this quarter, we had rent cafe refresher, human rights lift truck, as well as mitigating unconscious bias. And we had 2 OMER sessions where staff could come and learn about their pensions.
Oh, good.
From a year-end metrics, as I said, the absenteeism has slightly increased, so we'll take a look at that. But everything else in terms of our key indicators that we have here remain relatively positive. And so, Q4 we closed out in a good way. Looking ahead, so we had 4 corporate positions that were approved as part of the 2026 budget this year. We have organizational development and effectiveness manager. We've got an idea policy and program advisor. We have a financial analyst and a business consultant for strategy and business management. So these are 4 of the permanent positions that we have coming on board.
And have they been approved or have they been hired?
They were approved. They were approved.
And where are they hired yet or?
No, we're in
No.
the process of recruiting. But we are working with a third-party vendor as well as internally to post these positions and get them hired.
Excuse me, what do you mean by third-party vendor?
So to expand our search, we'll look at working with, we have an RFP out to work with vendors to help us with the recruitment process.
Okay. And that's not been finally settled?
That'll be settled within the next couple weeks.
And is there a requirement that they demonstrate outreach to diverse candidates or?
That will be one of our commitments, continued commitments.
Yes, because these are senior management positions. We want to make sure there's representation.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you. And just one quick question for me, if I could ask on the absenteeism rate. You mentioned the workman and compensation hours, that's within the range. That's manageable. It's not excessive.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's a slight uptick, but not excessive, no.
And
not for a month over or quarter over quarter, no.
Okay. And it's primarily illness, I can see.
Yes.
So bereavement is up there as well. A lot of people dying, I guess, right? Okay,
Perhaps.
yeah,
All right.
thank you very
So-
much. Any questions?
I got a question, Chair, if I can
Go
have
right
a
ahead.
moment. Or if someone's before me, that's fine.
I can't see, so go ahead, Counselor.
Oh, okay, thank you, Brenda. And so I maybe to piggyback on what the Chair just asked on the total unpaid hours, I see a number of 1,617 unpaid hours.
Yes.
Can you explain why the hours are unpaid?
So it could be through the chair and to the committee, it could be that the individuals have taken ill unpaid days if they've exceeded the amount that they have accrued. So they would have
Right.
taken ill unpaid.
I see. That's for the ill part, but I think there's a leave unpaid, the same scenario there, and vacation unpaid.
Yes. So
in all,
if they don't have the accrual, they may have requested additional time to take in terms of vacation or whatever leave requests they need.
Okay, I guess if that's I guess if they fully used their vacations and they require more time, that's the scenario when they don't get paid for those extra days, correct?
You would be unpaid, correct?
Okay. Did I hear correctly earlier? There's 4 permanent positions that was approved at some earlier meeting.
Yes, so these positions were part of our original, I believe there were 10 positions, and Tom, you can keep me honest because I wasn't here then. At the
origin, yeah.
At the origin of the organization. And
right.
so we put in to have these 4 positions filled. Some had been deferred in the past. And so these are the 4 that we had put in with the board approval and then to the City of Toronto for approval. And so these are the positions that have been approved.
And what is the total cost of these 4 positions once they're filled in total?
That
do
I
we
don't
have-
have with me right now, so I would have to get that to you, but I don't have that with the amount.
And that dollar amount was approved in the latest budget round, was it not?
Correct.
This is
yes.
what we've been waiting for, Counselor. I think
Yeah,
every
yeah.
year we presented it, and then this was the first year that they agreed to do it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember back on that. I guess
Yeah.
through the budget process, it was the amounts were approved. It's just that I'm always concerned when we grow the size of government. It's sure we need people, resources, and because I'm not sure what these 4 positions would call for, but I would suspect it's going to be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, and it's not just 1 year; it's every year.
Correct.
Moving forward. And we have so much pressure in terms of our state of good repair and where the money should be allocated and diverted to. And so that's why I'm raising this question at this point in time. If how critical is it that we need to satisfy all these 4 positions at this time?
Tom, I see your hand up there.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Through the chair to the committee, and just add a bit of further context to what Carol was sharing. So when the corporation was formed in June of 2022, in order to stand up the corporation, there was 32 kind of corporate positions that were identified, of
Right.
which in that first year only 22 were filled. And so each year we have been asking for some of the positions to help fill that complement. And to the committee, we have been using consultants in many of the instances to get the work done. And so this is just to help to permanently affix those people within the organization.
Okay, thank you, Tom, for that clarification, and thank you, Chair.
And could we expect a reduction then in the use of consultants if we do hire these 4 people?
Yes.
And that's a commitment that can be made?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is it possible, Carol, that you you said you're going to provide some information. If you could provide the titles of those 4 positions, just so it fix it in our mind.
So, Brenda, if you looking ahead, the 4 deferred corporate positions, the titles are there.
And that would be where?
So to the top right
Let's see.
of the document, it
yes,
says
I see.
looking ahead, the 4
Hold on.
positions are listed there.
Looking ahead, I see. Okay. Manager, organizational development, effectiveness, idea, policy, advisor, financial analyst, and business consultant, strategy and business. Okay. Okay. And
Madam Chair,
yes,
Costa has his hand raised.
thank you. I can't see that, so please just if I don't see you, please just speak up because of the
Thank
way
you, Madam
the,
Chair.
go right ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Karen. Just a question so I understand the numbers, if I may, Madam Chair, to Carol. The numbers representing ill, how many ill days are folks entitled to? I guess there's a few parts in my question per year. And do we replace folks if they call ill so the services don't suffer, and I guess the clients, the tenants, are not suffering as a result? And also, do they carry any unused ill days to the next year? And I think I heard you say that it's a little bit above. So, what are some of the remedies or strategies that we have to correct, for a better word, or try to reduce this number?
So thank you, through the chair and to the committee. So there are 3 different sets of sick day policy. So in terms of our QP 416 and 79, I would have to get those numbers back to you. We have the management exempt staff have days as well. So there are, it really depends. So there's float days, sick days, and vacation days that can be used in a myriad of ways, ill-dependent and things of that nature, which are listed here. So depending on the position that the person plays who calls in, that would determine either shuffling, getting coverage from somewhere else, replacing the person for the day. Perhaps it's not critical that day. So that's really an operational decision for them to determine that. But if there is someone that's not at work, then coverage would be assessed by the supervisor. Manager, and then they would determine what they need to do. So that wouldn't happen out of a people and culture perspective, for instance. And if it's a longer term absence, then we would work with the local team in terms of filling the position and determining what the next steps are. You had another question for me. And so with respect to the days, I can come back to the committee for the next meeting and tell you specifically what that looks like. But you had one more question. I'm sorry that I may have missed it.
I think I asked if folks
number.
can carry over, was part. And then if I understood your commentary correctly, Carol, that it might be a bit too high, what do we usually do, or how do we try to organize it?
So depending on the individual who presents and what they present, then people and culture or the business partners would work with that leader to try and get that individual back on track. So if we see that there's a lot of absences that are questionable, then we would work with that individual and the leader within the policy to then try to get that person the support they need or to get them back on track, and to work through that process.
And what triggers that? Is it monitoring of the sick days that are submitted?
Yes.
Okay. And that's monitored by the supervisor manager, or is it
Yes.
monitored by people in?
No,
Okay.
that would be managed by
Yeah.
sorry, by the supervisor and manager.
Okay.
Thank you.
And the number of days, I think you asked, Costa, the number of sick days that we grant people. I suppose it depends on management versus operational, but what are the number of sick days?
I can confirm that information at our next meeting. I can bring that back.
All right, good to know.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
to
you.
know. Any questions on the training opportunities?
So I can continue to take you through.
Okay,
And so for recruitment, we've had 13 positions posted, 42 interviews were conducted. And so, you know, some of these may be permanent positions that need to be backfilled, or they could be temporary or expression of interest type role that we have for individuals to fill on a temporary basis. So that's why we have those 13 positions posted. Joint Health and Safety Committee, not much change there. You know, working with the supervisory staff to ensure that things like job boards and not job boards, sorry, JSHC boards are updated with information and responding. No Ministry of Labor visits occurred, no open action items, so still pretty steady there. Our vacancy and turnover rates are quite low. Pardon?
nope, I didn't hear it.
Sorry.
Yep.
Lost time claims, relatively low. We have one lost time incident that occurred within the quarter, 3 lost time incidents, and then some incidents only that are reported that have no injury associated. Karen, can you go to the next page, please? There's quite a bit here in training. We've provided the updates for in the descriptors, the newer training courses or learning opportunities that we've provided. One of them I'd like to call out is or two, mitigating unconscious bias and diversity and inclusion in the workplace. These were IDEA in nature. And so in particular, the diversity and inclusion in the workplace, we had our IDEA committee participate in that. And so they were really good sessions. I attended both of them. And then we have, you know, finishing up our Leading with Impact for Leadership. Then we have our OMERS pension sessions, which went quite well, actually. They were live sessions, and we had staff attend and ask questions about, you know, retirement. And we also had TSHC participate in that session to support staff on the administrative portion of that. And then lastly, you'll see that the policies that we provided there on our Talent Connect for staff to review and acknowledge. So I'm not sure if there are any other questions for me at this point.
A question, and the NCI training opportunities, that stands for
Non-violent crisis intervention training.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. I know it by other initials. That's what I thought it was. And am I correct in reading that there were 60 sessions?
No, these would be 60 participants.
Participants, thank you.
Yes.
And similarly with the OMERS, those are participants, 30 participants?
Yes.
Okay. Do we do that regularly, the OMERS pension information session?
So we will run another one this year.
Yes.
Another session this year. Last year we did 2. And since I've been here, those were the first 2 sessions we held, and it's voluntary, so staff will sign up and attend. This year we're doing it virtually, so we might get more attendees.
Yes, I'd like to recommend that, particularly as people often don't know much about their pension situation. And I don't know what percentage of our staff are women, but retirement is a big issue for women because of their lower contribution rates often. And the rent cafe means that replaces the Housing Connect. That's the entry point to subsidized housing?
So this is for TSAs. And so this is the process that they use.
So that's the waiting list process.
Yes,
Yeah, so we've renamed it Rent Cafe.
yes, correct.
Yes, okay, sorry. I wasn't familiar with that name. Okay, anything else, folks? Any other questions? Thank you, Carol.
Thank you.
Where are we now? So that was item 9. We're on to item 10. Okay. Item 10, annual report. This is an information item, and I think Deanna Veltri will be speaking to that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Brenda. Everyone can hear me, I hope. Yes, people are nodding. Okay. So through the chair, thank you. Today I will provide a high-level overview of the draft 2025 Toronto Seniors Housing Corporation annual report, reflecting our third full year as an independent organization or corporation. My remarks will be brief. There's a lot in the report that I hope you all have had a chance to read. And I will focus here on key outcomes and themes and leave time for questions before the report moves forward for approval. 2025 marked an important milestone year for TSHC, not only our third year as an independent organization, but our strategic directions timed from 2023 to 2025 have culminated in a high degree of activities completed. A defining focus in 2025 was strengthening the conditions that allow seniors to age safely and with dignity at home. The Integrated Service Model, or ISM, continued to guide our service delivery and was supported by more than 300 agency-led programs in TSHC buildings. And we're very thankful to those partners who work with us every day to support tenants to age in place. Capital stewardship was also a major area of activity, with 188 capital projects delivered or underway, representing over $44 million in investment. Tenant safety was supported through the Community Safety Unit coverage. We saw over 900 welfare checks and 47,000 tenant calls to the Tenant Support Center in 2025. From a landlord perspective, performance in 2025 remained strong, with a high occupancy rate and significant number of households in good standing. That's over 96%. Our pest management efforts remain very active, and annual unit inspections also demonstrated positive year-over-year trends. Eviction prevention has also remained a core priority. In 2025, just 0.28% of all TSHC households has had an eviction enforced. Collaboration with the Office of the Commissioner of Housing Equity, or OACH, helped avoid formal landlord and tenant-based proceedings in a vast majority of cases and supported over $480,000 in direct payments toward arrears. It is important to note the complex tenancy teams and rapid rehousing initiatives also continue to provide focused supports to our tenants with higher needs, again contributing to that high number of successful tenancies and our high occupancy rate. Tenant engagement also deepened significantly in 2025. More than 300 tenant volunteers supported over 240 tenant-led initiatives through Community Connect Plus, primarily funded through the Community Activities Fund, with nearly all TSHC developments participating. Partnerships also expanded with over 200 recurring agency-led programs delivered across the portfolio. So every quarter, we are measuring such high numbers of consistency. This is a notable increase year over year. More collaboration with the City of Toronto also brought new and enhanced programming in health, wellness, safety, and digital inclusion. And thank you to those city departments that partnered with us to deliver that. And in parallel, TSHC advanced research on aging at home, strengthened accessibility leadership through our participation and support of the RPATH committee, and continued development of tenant-informed policies, this year focused on human rights, accessibility, and translation and interpretation access. From an organizational perspective, 2025 was a foundational year as well. TSHC finalized our first standalone collective agreements covering over 270 of our staff across 2 unions, and continued investing in leadership development and seniors-focused training, as we just heard from Carol, that's continuing in 2026 as well. In terms of governance and accountability, those areas were also strengthened through a new relationship agreement and cost allocation model with Toronto Community Housing Corporation, alongside enhanced enterprise risk management and business continuity planning work. So a very busy year in that area as well. In closing my comments, the 2025 annual report reflects a year of stability, growing maturity, and momentum of Toronto Seniors Housing Corporation, demonstrating a balance of strong landlord performance with deeper tenant engagement and partnerships, and our continued organizational development. Today's version is a draft, and feedback from this committee will be incorporated before the report is finalized. The finalized version will also include a summary of the 2025 audited financial statements. Those will first go before AFRC in April. The final version, including all the design and beautification elements and our final financial statements, will go before the board on April 28th, followed for approval, followed by submission to our shareholder, the City of Toronto. So with that, through the chair, I'm happy to take any questions or comments on their annual report.
Thank you. Any questions?
Quick question, it's Linda. I wonder, through the chair, if who the audience is and how it's actually distributed, because I think that would
I was
help
going to
me in
ask
terms
that
of
too.
understanding kind of what might be missing. And just a quick question: is it developed in house, or do we have somebody that has actually done it, helped with this outside? Two questions.
Yep. So through the chair to the committee, on your first question, in terms of the intended audience, so this is an accountability measure. So we are required as an organization to produce this by April. I think the end of April of every year is our deadline. In terms of audience, we submit this to the shareholder. We also post this on our website and do circulate it through our typical public channels. On the website, it's a digital version that you can click through. It can be translated as well. And we also have a 2-page summary being developed like in past years that are available for tenants, as well as a promotion in the August issue of Senior Speak. So it goes out to our tenant body as well and can be translated to their needs. So I hope that answers your question. I'm Linda on audience. Okay. And through the chair to the committee on your second question. So I'll put this in 2 lanes. From a writing perspective, we have a shared approach. So we do the majority of the fact gathering, initial narrative. We get some writing support, particularly as we craft those final bits and pieces and get it together. In terms of the design, that is all in-house. We have a wonderful communications team. I have a wonderful team, and we do all of the design. We gather quotes, we take pictures, and infuse those all into the final version, as well as the summary version. Okay.
Oh, that's terrific. I think we did one year have an outside consultant do it. If I'm not right, Linda, on that, I seem to remember.
Yeah. And that's great,
That's
Deanna.
great.
I think it's nice to see the strength of the communications team. I have found that the products have been terrific, and the pictures, and so congratulations.
Yeah,
it looks good to me.
Yes,
I'm very thankful for the team. Thank you for that.
And you're bringing back the format eventually to the board or to the committee? What's our time frame here?
Yeah, so the final, through the chair to the committee, the final version will come to the April 28th board meeting, and that one will have all of the design elements complete, and we will have the finalized financial statements as well, because they will have gone to AFRC prior to that.
Okay. Terrific.
Okay.
Any other questions? I'm just looking. Now that report also includes the message from the CEO, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And the board chair, if I'm
yes,
correct.
that's right.
Keep me honest, Tom. Yeah, and the board chair as well.
Yes, it is for Reed and Tom. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Terrific. And I see all the topics here that you've got. Great. Okay. Oh, well, that was item 10. Move on to item 11. So that's an information item. We've had some questions. Now, item 11, it's a motion to move into the closed session. I need approval for this. Motion to move into closed session under the TSHC bylaw 1-2021, section 4.19, subsection 1B, 1D, and 1J. Wow. Could I have someone move that motion, please?
Madam Chair, Costa has his hand
Costa,
raised.
thank you. Seconded by Councillor DeSanto. Thank you very much. All in favor? Thank you very much. We'll now proceed. Do we go off now or do we continue with the closed session agenda approval?
Madam Chair, I will end stream.
All right,